Oh, we're...
The name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Raymond's name, right?
Yeah. Here we go. We in there.
Alright, looks like they decided without me giving them the go-ahead, but I guess it'll be okay.
It's fine. It's a first attempt.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, this is fun. Alright, so as we all know, I mean, Enders and Incendiate are pretty much part of the Soul Calibur group amoeba right now.
It is true.
Countless streams, and as you know, they are brothers, and so they play very frequently. So, I mean, your brother plays these characters, so Raymond really isn't going to get away with anything that Enders hasn't seen before.
Well, one of the major impetus for having this set is that you know, the time that they played in real life offline was at Defend the North, and Enders ended up losing that to Raymond, and it's been sticking in his craw ever since then, and that's a ring out. Oh, I guess it doesn't ring out. What? Never mind though. But that being said, Enders did end up winning the last time they fought on the PARSEC, I believe. So we'll see. But that was obviously just a regular tournament match as opposed to a full first attempt. Enders with the meter advantage ends up not trying to do the gunshot to punish. Whoa, wow, okay.
It's going for a lot of these CSs.
Well, yeah, that was one of the main things that Raymond was doing at Defend the North, and seeing as how it worked for him the first time, I don't see why you would go out of your way to change it up.
I mean, CS is generally a very powerful tool.
Yeah, that's true.
What? You saw that.
I didn't see anything.
That's
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Jump that. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's really good. He's a superstar.
Man.
Is he gonna be? Oh no!
Dropping combos, whiffing. No, getting knocked down. All right, 1, 2, 3. Good movement, but not enough damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It was like a huge scramble of buttons. Again, they just did a button check / handful of rounds just to test out everything, so presumably everything was about as good as it's going to get.
Sometimes spaghetti just falls.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
That's true in Soul Calibur and in cooking. Ooh, ends up getting the counter hit again.
He didn't confirm the whole thing though.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Because that was a reset, I'm not aware of.
I doubt it. Oh, hey! Hyrule Hero Joe with the $20 donation. Thanks very much, Joe. I really appreciate that. That is effectively going to pay for the entire stream for today. That's great. You know.
Wait, what was that?
What was what? Oh, I missed it.
He like did auto GI and then like teleported.
Yeah, he's really good. That's a soul charge thing, I think. Didn't Cervantes get a liposuction this patch? Not as far as I know. I doubt that they had that kind of technology back in the late 1500s, but I'm not, you know, specifically with elective surgery, I'm not an expert when it comes to the history of it.
Front tech, and then, come on. Had the right idea, just the mechanics of it were of course off.
Oh boy.
Study Lesson 7, Chapter 5 of the mechanics book.
Alright, apparently that teleport. Oh my god! He's really getting some of these auto GI can't. Oh, tried to wow, a lot of activity in like just the last handful of seconds in that round.
Battle 2. Fight.
Counter hit.
Waste of time.
Yeah, I wonder what he tried to do. You end up seeing that a lot from IV players. Well, just traditionally long-range characters tend to whip a lot at long range into another move, which to an effect can be a bit of an eye roll, but at the same point, that's kind of what you do when you have a long-range character.
Yeah. Oh, running up. Okay.
Ooh, doesn't get his two-way punish on that block. Trying to go for some of these fancy auto GIs.
He does this almost every time. I guess because he really wants the space, but then he runs in anyway, and then makes this happen, which is it's counterintuitive. Oh no.
That's not going to be a ring out, I don't think.
It's going to be a washout.
Enders does have that bar, so he's got to be worth. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes these players really decide to just sprint at their opponents, whether they're really close or not, and it kind of freaks me out every time. Oh, damn, I forgot to update the score. Who won the first one?
I think anyone remembers.
Well, at the very end it'll show us the score, and then I'll be able to update it. Andrews with the... Oh, man! Ended up catching him out of that. I kind of wish they had just done a CE punish, but I guess this will be enough? Just enough. Gateway Funds with the sub. Thanks very much. I very much appreciate it. Ooh, ends up getting the back grab as a punish. Man, Raymond kind of really freezing up here.
Yeah, but then... Oh.
He fell for it?! You play Incendiate all the time! You fell for it?!
And hey, it's the first to 10. It happened once. The probability of it succeeding again is extraordinarily low.
Fool me once, shame on. The fool cannot be fooled again.
Alright. We'll see them next time he attempts it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What incredible evasion by walking back a little bit. A6. A6 into... Okay, now we'll see what the score was. And the score is currently 1-1. Wait. No, that would have been 2-0 for Enders, because Raymond effectively won the quote-unquote button check. So it's 2-0 for Enders. If somebody in the chat wants to let me know that I'm wrong, then you know what? You guys are, bad.
2-0.
Guys, I said it was 2-0. I corrected myself. I didn't need your help. How dare you?
Get a ring out. Oh,
Nope. He tried for it. He tried really, really hard to get that 2-2-way lethal hit, I think.
Bing bang. Oh, you can't really do that.
I really like.
That's
I like the fact that I don't think this is gonna ring out just because we've seen this situation like over and over again. Nice block, gutsy block actually.
Always goes for that block to get the space and then runs in and negates the space.
Yeah, it's kind of
Very
weird.
interesting strategy.
It's like he tries to set it up so that he can go for like a run-in CS just to see if it works out, and it doesn't. It in fact does not work out.
It doesn't. Right. It didn't work.
Already asking for refunds in the in the Twitch chat. That's not good news for me.
Modest damage.
Yeah.
Getting shot.
Man, why is he getting hit by that? Is he trying to like wake up and set?
Yeah, you can't really respect that knockdown like that.
Well, you can roll away. If it's 3-3B, you can roll to the side.
Really? I
Yeah.
feel like that clips you.
Not in my experience.
Okay.
In that kind of wake up specifically, man, imagine if you just done CE. That would be really funny. That's gonna work, right? Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna have back turn. Is this gonna do enough damage? It's not, right? Yeah, that did like no damage. Okay. Does it have like less damage? Oh man!
You didn't even do that. You generate so much space. 6 BD. But sometimes just wake up jump kills because Ivy does a lot of damage.
Virgil telling me that I'm stupid. Well, guess what? You're stupid.
Getting shot in the head.
Watch your toes.
Okay, good. Generate that distance, and then now we're in. Wow. Okay.
You really don't like that idea for Bray, huh?
No, I don't. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, it's very weird. Still not getting that ring out that he wants.
Alright, got that space.
I like how he like just totally like stood in place for the grab that ended up not working out. Nice IGDR punish, really up close too.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to worry about that guard break. I kind of wish they had done those. Like if he starts peppering in like looking for these whiffs and then doing CEs, I think Enders is really gonna get paid out quite a lot.
Oh no! That just how it does it.
All right, so you're gonna have a meter advantage on Ender's side. You're gonna have the guard damage on Ray's side. Trying to whiff punish, not working out.
Alright, getting closer to that edge.
Ooh, canceling it into more stance stuff. Shuffling around a lot. Oh man, he thought he was out of range if he had just continued to try and step. I feel like this is a little bit too little too late. But then again,
Ray
it is
thought-
Cervantes, and that
No,
should
you
not
killed
be
him.
it.
Stop doing that when you have the kill.
What? Okay, he ended up getting it. It was a little bit roundabout, but yeah, worked it out. Ray gets on the board.
Prove enough of my victory.
He's on the board. He's on the board.
So I wonder if we're gonna get a stage select. Nope. I guess we're gonna stick with it. I guess it hasn't been that big of a deal, right?
Nah. Alright, now you're gonna...
Ooh, he went for the counter unblockable, and which means that if Ray had gone for the unblockable that we berated him for for getting hit by the first time, he would have gotten hit by it again. Oh no, and that's the first round. Ray snowballing with this momentum.
What does Enders need to do?
That's a good question. Well, I feel like he's... Well, for one, breaking CS. That should be a given. Just capitalizing on some of these whiffs that Ray ends up producing in a lot of these situations a little bit more handily. Again, I feel like some of this, like, he could be doing stuff like CEing at like kind of a far range a lot more often. Just trying to capitalize a little bit better in terms of the damage that he's getting on some of these opportunities. Or just, you know, A6 a bunch. You could do that too.
Pull him up.
A6 is pretty good.
Enslave. Begone.
I feel like he could have gotten a 3B there, but he gets a 3B anyways.
No shortage of 3Ds here.
Whew, wow. I like how Ray tends to... has like this really awkward timing of movement, and it almost kind of effectively like buffers a CS. Like it makes it seem like he's doing a CS. Very shades of Sane from SE5, where you just kind of like walk around awkwardly for a little bit as Ivy, and it ends up making people think that you're going to do a CS.
Wow, the lift.
Both of the players are getting a little bit more rambunctious when it comes to like slight frame disadvantage into like not even doing necessarily a fast move, but like an aggressive move when you're up close. Like Enders is doing stuff like A6. Ray, I mean, he's just been doing command grabs any old time. Not getting the duck in that situation. I guess he's decided to give up on that. If I'm Enders, I'm thinking about trying to use my my meter as soon as I can.
Alright, I see you.
Ooh.
Chill. Oh,
Double R.
Just down already.
Caught the RI too. Yada yada.
The battle is over. Show respect.
Like,
for
so
the
Raymond's head was in the right place, but the timing was not.
I feel like there was a
RI.
little bit too much of... Yeah, I guess from the RI that makes sense, but also I just feel like, this is, like, way too much... When it came to the meter usage, just in general, I think it was a little bit desperate. You got a little bit too trigger happy. Literally, because you probably used a trigger in order to pull that off.
Because, like, the thing is, you okay, no, I understand. I'm gonna continue with the match.
Ooh. And just trying to be super fancy, and or schmancy. And just slowly trying to get his grip. Wow, really good sidestep from Enders. And another good sidestep from Enders.
A legitimately good slice up.
Yes.
Indeed.
We had a lot of weird stuff happen. I don't remember this happening in like the first attempt that we did.
These gut punches aren't really doing too well. Usually when we get to that range where gut punches at the tip, we're usually doing full beat instead.
Yeah.
Sidestep. There's also go under 6 to play, so that just seems like a very attractive option.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, ooh, fantastic punish, and that's going to give him the second round. I wouldn't necessarily say that either of them have been all that successful yet at understanding their own defensive options, and I feel like it's just a matter of who is getting more damage from the person who's being aggressive being incorrect so far.
Yeah. I think that's a
like there's like all this little tiny poking kind of stuff, but it really when they start throwing haymakers is when you really see when they get down to it.
yeah, like right now. Like,
Yeah.
okay, look at all those pokes he got, and now he's at a life deficit. All those pokes, and you're at the back foot.
Did Enders get caught using meter or something like that? He has no meter.
Probably try to soul charge.
Yeah, I guess I just missed it. Wow, that caught! I would have sworn that he was out of range for that.
Battle 4.
That's a round on the board.
Whoa, hey!
That was close.
Mutiny. Ah, see, every time he tries to duck that situation, he ends up getting blown up for it, literally.
It's very hard, because like you gotta be able to duck the first hit and then quickly get a whiff punish prepared and not get hit by the second hit.
Yeah, he's trying to go with the wall rising A, and it's just not panning out. Oh, isn't able to sidestep the horizontal that time. Enders needs to work on his sidesteps, I guess. Ah, see, what would have happened if he just had a CE like primed up for that situation, you know? Yeah, like that. It's just like I feel like Enders is still giving Ray too many opportunities to pull something out. Now, as for what Ray has to do, unfortunately I never played Ivy, so I can't really but actually I already played Surge, but it's a matter of trying to figure out what he's gonna do is a little bit harder. Maybe if there's an Ivy player in chat. Well, if he switches, then I certainly would have a little bit more experience with Cassandra. I'm not going to say anything until he actually decides to do it.
Maxi.
Yeah, Big Maxi.
Big Maxi.
Alright, he's locked into Cassandra.
Double Cassandra.
Cervantes.
Man, it's a real shame we don't have any Ivy players in chat. I really wish that we had somebody who could help us out, but unfortunately, it really seems like, you know, anybody who might have been an Ivy player in the chat is just not here and has decided to stay completely silent. Unfortunate, but it won't matter anymore, so if any Ivy players happen to be in the chat, they don't need to say anything. So we're going to be seeing Cassandra versus Cervantes this time. Still trying to wake up. I mean, obviously, Ray can press quite a lot more buttons with this character, as Cassandra is wont to do, but he's also going to have to press a lot more buttons just to do the amount of damage that he's used to getting.
Yeah, definitely.
Also has those command grabs, but very different kinds of command grabs than Ivy has. Dowden with the gifted sub. Thanks very much, I appreciate it. I think we're almost to the point where I will have made enough money to pay for this exhibition and the next one next week, so that'll be cool. Oh, you see how he like lined himself up so that he could get a potential ring out off of the yeah, I like that. This doesn't seem to be working out all that much, right?
Yeah, but you know, you gotta get in the mode, get in the zone. Yeah, you
auto zone.
Different character, auto zone. Get that carburetor.
Yeah, see, this is the, like, remember how we were talking about, ooh, wow, nice read.
Let's go.
Oil change. Honestly, I feel like what's been happening a lot so far in this game specifically, yeah, that is a 100% like, effectively like a force block. You can't soul charge out of it, and that's the game, I think, right?
Yep.
Gee whiz. No, it's not. Oh, okay!
That's gonna really hurt.
That's,
like,
no, that's not, yeah, but that's not Divine Force. Wow!
Still, low life.
Jesus Christ. But imagine if he had Divine Force there. Well, oh well. I feel like he should stick with this character for at least one more game, but switch the stage.
Switch to Maxi.
Or switch to Maxi. For the memes.
That's all it is. Right?
Alright, well he did half of what I hoped he would do.
Alright, a lot of blocking. Getting stopped up. That's not, let's see.
Ooh, trying to go for, trying to catch that backdash with the Lipo hit there. Not actually panning out. But, you know, one of the main problems that Cassandra has is just the ability to control people's movement at a mid-range kind of scenario. And it seems like Enders is very well equipped to deal with that situation. Which is kind of ironic, because now that I think about it, are there Cassandra players at NLGC? Am I missing one? I don't think so. The only Cassandra player that I can think of with a tournament resume would be Party Wolf, and that's all I can think of. That's not, yeah, you're gonna get a BB there. Wow! That auto GI still kind of worked. Max damage.
Okay, guess I'm going. Alright, those stance mix up for the 2K mix.
Yeah, 2K is probably Cassandra's best move. will work there. And there's her second best move while resing B.
Battle 3. Fight.
Alright, Divine Force. Divine Whip. Oh no, another Divine Whip. What? Come on. that was Sophie, and then yeah. Okay. And then they just ducked it, I guess, because.
Because why not? Ooh, we don't know soul chart stuff. That was a lot of damage. Into plus frames. Nice block. Ooh, the 1A is not working out this time around. This is PARSEC. Shoutouts to Soul Calibur 4.
SC4. He hasn't done B2 hold yet, though. He can try that. Oh no! Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Oh, the 1A works out that time. He's got guard damage on his side. That's going to be slightly punishable. Challenging with the I-10AA.
Nice healing pin.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and get in again.
He's in.
He's out. Ooh, auto GIs. Explosions. Alright, so we've got, you know, double potential guard crush this round, both with full bar, but if I'm Cassandra in this situation, I'm totally fine with that. If you get guard broken, you do have an additional lethal hit available to you. Ooh, auto GIs.
Ooh, big fun.
Ooh, you gotta get back up.
Guard break. Bang.
Decides not to spend the meter and ends up going for the max damage without the bar. Cheap.
Ow, jeez. Okay, you have 2 bars though, so it takes time.
Yeah, but I mean, that is a lot of work. Even for Cervantes, that's a lot of work to do. Alright. Ray trying out that Cassandra. 1-on-1 so far for him.
Over already? Oh well.
Perhaps this is the answer.
It's certainly a answer. An answer.
It's a very interesting quirk Raymond has. I think part of it might be based out of growing up in an online environment. Because there's many times where these steps move pretty cleanly, but like the whiff animation is a little ambiguous. You don't know how much things you have to counter. And so then his brain goes to use a guard break attack to anticipate GI after you whiff.
Right, yeah. Definitely an answer that you would assume was cultivated in an environment that is a little bit more unique than something that you or I had dealt with. Oh my god.
Yes.
That is not the easiest thing in the world to counter. Traditionally, I find that more often than not what you want to do is just get up and RI the unblockable. Little tiny pokes. I will say that Cassandra's certainly going to be a lot better at that than Cervantes. I think Enders needs to start, okay. And that's game. I guess if you have those, you have those.
Plus range. Ooh, alright. Oil change. Got the oil.
Get that oil! Gets that punish. I notice like every time Anders gets like a small punish, Ray ends up. Oh, is that a ramp? No, I can never tell on the stage. I appreciate the fact that he's going for because he has like the round advantage. He's going for wow, that grab range is nothing. But I like the fact that he's using meter aggressively here. I feel like that's an underrated.
My
tactic.
God, what was all that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's not like he was sacrificing all that much. Ooh!
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier. I never saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Battle 4. Fight.
Yeah, now that I think about it, we haven't really seen a whole lot of GIs from Enders. He's constantly trying to like backstep, and he's just not been able to do it. Well, that's just because I said something.
Right.
Ooh, nice catch on the duck for the second hit of 2A, or 2-2A. Will he or won't he when it comes to the strings? That's Cassandra's game.
When's he gonna stop? Okay.
Sometimes it does. Ooh, nice roll. That is not going to be in time, though. Yep. And that will be Enders' 6th. So 6-2. This definitely seems to be a little bit more the speed that Ray is kind of hoping for.
Battle 1. Fight.
Another game.
Welcome back.
Alright.
Is this your Casey Kasem impression?
Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Good voice.
I kind of like that punish, and I also kind of don't. I wish that Ray was doing a BK when he would get small whiffs like that. Get better frame advantage. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah? Ooh, la-di-da. If you didn't know, the first hit of that unblockable is a low. It's not something you see very often. That, corralling that movement. Ender's having significantly harder time moving around this time around, and he's not prepared for the kinds of buttons that Ray is trying to shove out there.
Fuel filter change.
How many things do you know about car repair? Like, how long can you keep this up?
Not a lot.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
It's a fuel filter change because like you're changing a filter.
So you need to come up with something involving the tires, the battery, the alternator, and air filters. Well, you effectively said fuel filter, so you don't have to use double filter.
Yeah, I don't have to use that.
You can filter that.
Yeah.
You do. If I don't hear anything about an alternator, I'm gonna flip shit. Okay.
Well, I have time.
Okay, that is true. We're still, kind of in the middle of the set, presumably. Ooh, he tries to AA there. Is that going to be a ring out? I can never tell. Okay, decides to use the soul charge. Ooh, it doesn't get the hitbox he was hoping for. I believe Enders is trying to react GI to that situation, as most players are wont to do. But doesn't seem to be able to pull that off.
Do you think Enders is sweating right now?
I think Enders is probably getting irritated with the fact that he's not getting the GIs and whiff punishes that he's hoping for. And he's also probably getting a little bit frustrated at having his backdash caught by some of the moves that Ray is using. But that is kind of effectively what you have to worry about with Cassandra, because in order to catch a long-range backstep like Cervantes has, you're going to have to go all out when you're playing Cassandra. You're going to have to take something that is a pseudo-risk. Oh, wow.
Oil change.
Stop. You can't just use oil change every time.
Every time she goes into Titanic Struggle, it's an oil change. When she goes
Okay.
Titanic Struggle from the air, like the ground throw, that's the fuel change.
You know what? I wholeheartedly apologize for ever doubting your consistency, and I want to, and I'm sorry that I told everybody that you were wrong.
It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you.
I crave your forgiveness.
You have it.
Okay. It's delicious. Delicious forgiveness. I don't know so much about that soul charge, but okay. You know what Enders never does? He never does off-the-wall stuff.
Like as a person? Like he's just not a crazy guy?
I guess not. Well, I don't know if he's a wild and or crazy guy, but it's just, he has specifically told me in the past that he's very much not interested in using off-the-wall shenanigans with Cervantes. I'm not sure why.
Is it too dishonest?
Is it really that dishonest? Like, it seems pretty legit. Like, maybe I'm stupid and I don't know. It looks goofy, but in terms of like the actual like on-paper statistics for it, it seems kind of legit to me.
Yeah, I really can't tell you.
Especially if the opponent is in soul charge, you might as well waste their time because you are straight up invincible when you're like in those situations. It doesn't get his whip punish. See, he keeps, like, basically anytime Enders moves back or moves forward in a pseudo-aggressive way, that's when Ray is getting the majority of his damage. Nice whip punish. And that's going to give Enders his 7th game. 7-3.
Dead.
Right you are.
I am correct, everybody. Hello, I'm correct.
It's a deal.
The battle.
The question is, will Ray switch to Max?
I don't believe that is the question, but it is a question.
Alright, the answer is no. Not switching to Maxi, I don't understand why.
Trying to corral that movement, always the big struggle with Cassandra. Noticing that, he's getting the punish on AK, but he's not trying to duck BK. So So that's something that if I'm Ray, I'm definitely keeping stock of.
BK is pretty hard. You gotta call it out specifically. You gotta be looking for it.
Which you are want to do, because if you're just going to let that slide, Cassandra's going to get a lot of pressure. And that's going to be not game yet. Oh, tries to go for the 1A. I kind of wish he had gone for something safer, because you don't need something big. Oh, no. I don't know, man. I really wish that he had gone for... Like, okay, so if Ray had gone for, like, literally just, like, 2K, or just, like, sidestep for a little while to better the stage positioning, as opposed to going for 1A, I think it would have worked out a lot better for him. Even if Enders was right, because the frames would have allowed him to continue to try and press.
Yeah. Knockout.
If you don't have to make a huge commitment, it's always best not to.
That's like 3 things in a row. That was awesome.
Wow, is this... Jesus Christ. Ooh, into frame advantage. Ooh-wee. That chip damage. Alright. Oh boy, oh boy. That's Cassandra for you.
Yeah.
Battle 3. Fight.
It's got the heavy meter advantage. Heavy meter advantage. Getting that punish. Yeah, it hasn't been good, like, all, like, 2 times he's used it.
It's really only a 2, like, contain up close, and you have to hit them from it.
Well, if anything, it's a fantastic block punish. It's like her best block punish at like 10 or 12. Oh, right.
I'm thinking 3AK. That's what he's doing. Because 3A is really only, like...
You know what? You're right. I was thinking about AK.
Actually, you can Beyblade, but, like, that's slower.
Yeah, honestly, he should be using more Beyblade, assuming he's got the guard meter to use it, because it doesn't really seem like Enders has been all that successful at trying to deal with it. Oh, one thing that you can do about that unblockable, from what I understand, is that you can just straight up roll into Cassandra as she's, like, ramping up the unblockable, and you'll be able to, like, get underneath her. Then you just have to deal with the weight as opposed to the actual damage. Speaking of damage. Okay, Mr. Man over here.
Alright, more Beyblades incoming.
Oh, alright, what do you get out of this? You get like the double move. She does explosion, moves up a bit into explosion. That was cool.
There's another explosion left. We're talking about explosion.
Oh, Enders thought that he got away from the explosion, but he gets caught by the explosion. Turn around A. Oh, I don't know so much about that. Okay. Again, I feel like the last 2 games, I feel like Ray kind of threw away.
Holds power over me.
Hard to keep it together, you know. Yeah, your strategies are not working as planned, and like you gotta quickly make a new book.
I just feel like one thing that that Ray could be utilizing a little bit more. I mean, yeah, Cassandra's buttons are amazing, but one thing that is a little bit underrated when it comes to Cassandra is her ability to move too, and utilizing better movement, like rather than trying to catch Enders' movement with a button, you could just essentially just try and chase him down, so you use quicker, faster buttons instead of using like buttons at a mid-range kind of thing, where Cervantes is going to be the victor, kind of like stuff like that. I feel like you would be better playing a little bit more of a defensive game, and just like if you look at Tamanegi, he like presses so few buttons it's kind of insane. His Cassandra literally just blocks everything forever. Jesus Christ. Just block. Okay. He blocks everything forever, and then he does Wall Rising B, and wins the game. And his Cassandra's pretty good.
Oh.
Hey, first shield, yeah, first Frisbee we've seen. Feel like he forgot that move exists. See, I don't like this whole, like, beating a GI with, 6A on hit into B on block. Just do BK. BK is a lot better.
Beyblade.
You know what else we haven't seen is Cassandra 6BB. I love that move.
At the beginning of the round, kind of advanced.
Yeah, I guess I missed it. But the first AK he'd ever gone for and it didn't work out. Or KA. Now we're doing 6's K to try and catch the movement.
Give me those frames.
Ooh, no. Yeah. Backwards soul charge.
Frames. Big bang. Got some more gunshots in there. 91.
He's got this guard break unlocked. Oh no. Whoa, why? What happened? Whoa, and that's the game.
Got blocked.
Yeah, this isn't the same level of Oki as I was talking about with Mina, but it's not like literally nothing. You do have to block it.
Block it, take your -14, and be on your way.
Alright, 9-3.
9-3.
We are looking at 7 consecutive match points for Ender's J. So effectively, he is essentially locked into what we have here right now. Cassandra on this stage. What happened? Why did that IGDR? What happened to that IGDR?
Because. Why not?
Well,
That's not fun.
ooh, nice delay on that before he gets his Divine Force. Doesn't block that, or doesn't duck that A.
Ooh, oil change.
I don't like the fact that it happens so rarely that I forget that you're gonna say it. And then you say it and I get bothered.
Alright, only 2 rounds for Enders. Oh, those GIs are not really working out. They're not getting the read on the post GI. Ray is usually escaping unscathed.
Man, challenging with the 236A, B on Ender's dashing up. That seems to be, again, like the main way that Ray is getting any sort of damage in the set so far. Yeah, see, like these little small buttons, this is where Cassandra wins the matchup. Not by trying to chase down Cervantes with, like, big damage at mid-range. That's kind of what serves it, you know?
That was a very well-played round. He kept it together, kept him pinned down those low pokes, and then took advantage of trying to get out the corner and do it. That was a very good round.
Yeah, I feel like he would have so much more success with this character if he just kept it the whole game plan much tighter, not stealing with the meter back. So unfortunately this kind of stuff happens, but like playing a smaller damage, faster buttons type of character means that you should play smaller buttons, you know, faster, like faster buttons, smaller range type of character. You know?
It's not happening, and like when you fight Cervantes, you're gonna block 3 meters. It's gonna happen. So you gotta have the right response to that situation.
Well, it kind of goes back to what you were talking about, where I found that a lot of times when he's blocking 3B, he'll go for like an A+B, presumably because he's used to Cervantes players doing 3B on block into GI, because they do that in certain scenarios that shall not be named.
I mean, yeah, you know, like it really takes advantage of the person's like lack of awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a valid strategy in some respects.
Nice duck. He didn't get that AA punish either. Yeah, he would be. Oh, why?
Top whiffing. Run up G.
The first 6 view that we've seen.
Stay in it. Pressure him.
Yeah, just be okay with, like, you know, so you're not going to get a huge amount of damage. You're going to get a. Well, never mind. You actually got a gigantic amount of damage. You ended up winning the entire game. Technically speaking, that wasn't like a straight up punish, but yeah. Alright, so 9-4.
Raven's staying alive.
The previous set was 10-4, right? I think so.
Don't you tweet these things out after you're done?
After everything is done.
You should hire a social media manager.
I mean,
Pay him $10.
I'm begging the stream just to give me enough money so that I can just have these things. So I feel like getting a staff. It's kind of big.
Nah, it's begging when you go on camera and do a sob story. That's
Okay.
begging.
Yeah, it's not a sob story, but I'll just put it this way: if you guys like this kind of content, I will need money in order to keep it going. I will need money in order to keep these things going. But you know, if you feel like this is the kind of content that you like, please consider donating so that I can keep doing this. Especially after paying a few $1,000 for a root canal, I don't know if I'm in a position to just be spending money to stream.
I think that wasn't a look on us. I think Raymond got that for
It definitely seemed that way. He's got Divine Force though, so this damage, this life disparity isn't like the most impossible thing for Cassandra to navigate. Oh man, that was very close and scary.
He extended his hurt box with his foot, and then he got IGDR'd. Okay, death and force. Uh-oh. It's okay. It's okay.
Now I'm
Man, fantastic patience from Enders to try and get out of that situation, mitigate that situation next to the wall as much as he could without taking too much damage. Oh no. No. Goes for the mix, doesn't end it, and that's gonna be the round. No, it's not.
He's alive.
Oh, he decides to go off the wall. It doesn't work out. Wake up, AA didn't even try to confirm what was happening. He got up out of his chair. He put his controller down and just started stomping on his A button as fast as he could.
Now I'm
Gee whiz. Yeah, that is not Ivy, my friend. Can you imagine if Cassandra had good grab range? That would be so unfair. It is important to note that it is still kind of harder it has always traditionally been harder for Cervantes to get grabbed because of his natural stance.
Yeah, he really
and that's game.
by opting to stay by the wall.
Enders
Yeah,
wins
back up.
10-4. So, you know, as much as I hate to say it, I've had 3 first 10s, like as PARSEC exhibition so far. Number 1 was Linkors versus Kashi, and that was 10-2 for Linkors. And then we just had Yoki